Hi there, I'm Rosnel, Leva Cortez. I am Deerfield class of 22, sophomore right now, and I'm making this video to show you the differences between a CPU and a GPU. So here we go, we have a couple things to do. So a CPU is a central processing unit and a GPU is a graphics processing unit. The reason that these chips are separated is to allow for separate processing tasks. For example, what I have right here is a Raspberry Pi, and it has two chips right here, silicon chips, this one being the CPU and this one being the GPU. The CPU runs computational tasks like word processor or standard applications like Chrome or things like that. The graphics processing unit is for more intense processing of graphics, complex geometry, and for what we're used to, usually games, high graphically demanding games such as Borderlands, Fallout, or any of the AAA titles. However, this is an example of an integrated graphics card. Another example of a graphics card is a dedicated graphics card. So typically on a ATX, ITX motherboard, these pins right here would be for PCIe slots where you would put this graphics card in, and underneath this heatsink that is used for thermals to make sure that you keep the chip cooled is the GPU. You want to make sure that all your components are decently cooled, usually around room temperature, because it improves the longevity of, or the shelf life, I mean, of the components. Now, the reason that this is different, obviously, from an integrated graphics card is that once you plug it in, the dedicated graphics card has to then output this to a monitor. Alright? And what we have right here are three different outputs. In the current, this is a dedicated graphics card from the 2000s, so it's not as sophisticated as today's graphics card. But you can see right here we have VGA, DVI, and I forgot what this one, PS2, PS/2 output for video. So essentially, that is the difference between a CPU and a GPU. One is a computational processing unit, and the other is a graphics processing unit, used for two different tasks. One is for computational loads, such as loading standard programs and computing basic things. You can think of it as like a really overpowered calculator. And the graphics processing unit is used for more complex calculations, such as applications with graphical intensity and more complicated computations, such as applications like Bitcoin miners that have to solve equations of varying complexity, usually pretty hard. Those are usually reserved for a dedicated GPU that can handle that load.